ESLkarting.com. We thank our event sponsor, Sportality. Well, that looks like a start, and Dylan Trevella looked to have got a good one there from pole in kart number 414, and certainly has done so. Following Dylan Trevella, Nick Bruckner perhaps, and Giovanni Bramonte. So not such a good start. Well, no, maybe that's not a fair comment. I won't even go through with it. Dylan Trevella started on pole position. He leads from Nicholas Bruckner, who started on the inside of row 2. Giovanni Bramonte, who was on the outside of row 2, is third. Justin Sirgany, fourth. Juan Crespi was the driver who was a little bit slowly away. He's in kart 470. He's eighth at the end of the far side of the track, but already repairing that damage, endeavouring to making progress forward. Well, 4-8. 8 is this down in front of us. Not making any further progress presently, or indeed throughout the race, we suspect. 4-1-4, Dylan Trevella. 4-7-4, Nicholas Bruckner. In fact, that wasn't Nicholas Bruckner I was looking at. That was Giovanni Bramonte. Giovanni Bramonte in kart 437 it was, alongside Dylan Trevella. Justin Sirgany running in third place. Jack Miller fourth. Nicholas Bruckner down to fifth. And we've got Giovanni Bramonte in the lead now. Giovanni Bramonte taking the lead. And I'm just struggling to identify a couple of drivers. I'm still nowhere near, so let me abandon it and go to the front of the race. Giovanni Bramonte in kart number 437 is from New York, driving a Haase chassis for Mike Doty Racing. A lot of emails in for the Mike Doty drivers. 437, Giovanni Bramonte holding on to this lead, this narrow advantage in front of Justin Sirgany and Dylan Trevella. Well, just a tiny gap between the first three. Well, no, let's say that gap is closed now. Yeah, that looks as if Justin Sirgany has got into the lead, or was that Dylan Trevella? Let's have another closer look. It's definitely Justin Sirgany. So a brief period leading the race for Giovanni Bramonte, but hey, this is a Micromax race. We're going to expect lots of changes at the front. I did actually see in Portugal an Iniciado race, which is initiates, and those drivers were just 5 and 6 years old. And they just about went round side by side and changed leadership every 100 yards or so. It was at fairly slow pace, but it was interesting to watch. Justin Sirgany from Dylan Trevella and Giovanni Bramonte. They are the 1, 2, 3. And that looks like a move out of line for 418, was that? Antonio Serravalli trying to gain an advantage. Justin Sirgany, 439. Continuing to hold the lead, or is that... I'm almost in the situation now where I'm not backing my own judgment, and I have a little rule: when I'm not certain, don't say it. Don't say it, Walker, if you're not certain. Tell you what, it's a good Minimax final, isn't it? Micromax final, excuse me. Coming down now towards the end of lap 4 of a 12-lap race. 439 is Justin Sirgany. Justin Sirgany from Jamaica with strong connections to Florida. Dylan Trevella in second place. And 437 Giovanni Bramonte in third place. And this time I am going to say that they have split themselves away a little bit from the 4th and 5th place drivers. Justin Sirgany, Dylan Trevella and Giovanni Bramonte are the 1, 2 and 3. Now a strange line taken there by Giovanni Bramonte. Very different line to the other two. And momentarily looked to be well detached, but he's carried the speed through and caught them up again. So I guess nothing was lost in the move, and maybe he felt that if any of the others were getting offline slightly, that would have opened an opportunity. or maybe just got himself out of position. Who knows? 4.39, Justin Sirgany continues to lead as we come up over the start, not over the start-finish line, over the finish line. This is the end of lap 5, the beginning of lap 6. Well, is Giovanni Bramonte being ever so slightly detached? Possibly. Justin Sirgany kicking on. Let's have a look who's doing the quick times. Well, there's very little in it. Dylan Tavella's done a 57.214. Justin Sirgany a 57.217. Giovanni Bramonte 57.3. And Sirgany and Tavella, the only ones in the 57.2s. So on that basis, if they do it consistently, they ought to pull away a little bit. And it looks as if they are doing ever so slightly. Half race distance. 6 laps gone, 6 to go. And 4th to 3rd is that Antonio Seravalli going past Giovanni Bramonte. Justin Sirgany and Dylan Tavella 1 and 2 remain as they were. Antonio Seravalli is in kart 418, driving that Techno kart for Passera Racing. So that allows the front two to just pull away a little further. Justin Sirgany under pressure from Dylan Tavella, but Dylan Tavella not in a position... Well, now he is in a position to make a challenge, but hasn't chosen to do so. This is coming up to the end of lap 7. Oh, and third place driver, let me see, that was Giovanni Bramonte, losing places there, gone back into 5th place for getting a couple of wheels into the dust and on the bank, the grassy knoll. Oh, and somebody surmounts the bank completely. That was relatively low speed, so I'm not suspecting that there's an injury or a potential red flag situation. Help at hand immediately. Well done to the corner workers. It's kart number 487, and hey, he's on his way, What do you mean driving off the track and banging the barrier? Yes, so what? I'm going back on track and going to continue racing. Nothing to see here. Would you move on, please? Good race at the front now with 3 in tow, because Antonio Seravalli in 3rd place has caught up Dylan Tavella in 2nd place and Justin Sirgany in the lead. Sirgany definitely... And there goes a bold move. Oh, I don't think that was going to happen, but I do support and applaud Antonio Seravalli, who moved out to the left. What was significant was, if he was going to try to pass the guy in front, he had to go for the 2. A bid to go 3rd to 2nd. Well, he's rattled the 2 in front a little bit, maybe. And interesting that these 3 karts, at the moment, they're all on the same line, but moments ago taking different lines, and certainly on the left-hander coming off the straightaway, Antonio Seravalli taking a different route to the rest of them, and is doing so again now, isn't he? And this time, does he get a dividend? No, he doesn't. Well, he doesn't move up from 3rd to 2nd, but he certainly gives the 2 in front something to think about. Good scrap now for the podium places. Jack William Miller is running 4th. Giovanni Bramonte is running 4th. Nicholas Bruckner 5th, and Jack William Miller in 6th place. David Morales 7th. In fact, that's not accurate either, I don't think. I think that 7th place is Alessandro Famolaro. Michael Dorlando 8th, splitting Alessandro Famolaro 7th and Anthony Famolaro 9th. And it's Emiliano Richards from Mexico completing the top 10. So, coming round to see 2 laps to go. That unique to North America signal. Well, it may be used in South America as well, I don't know. Only once went to South America for karting, and that was a cycle race, and I can't really remember if that 2 laps to go signal was used. Well, Justin Sirgany came under a lot of pressure for a long period, but has withheld it. I don't say he's clear of the challenge of Dylan Tavella, he's not, but he's got just a little cushion. Antonio Serravalle well in touch in 3rd place, but not as close to Dylan Tavella as Dylan Tavella is to Justin Sirgany. Coming up towards the start of the final lap of this Micro Max final. Justin Sirgany starts the last lap. Last lap, 1 to go guys, 1 to go. And is that passing move going to be executed? Well, momentarily losing the pictures, not able to tell you. Oh, and they're taking 3 different routes. And this is all played into the hands of Antonio Serravalle. And while Sirgany and Tavella tried to cover each other, they left a lot of track wide open. And Antonio Serravalle says, fair enough, lads, if you leave me 7/8 of a track width, I'll drive through it and I'll move up from 3rd to 1st. And that's exactly what he's done, and got a little bit of a cushion as we go into the complex, the lesser Serpentine. So looking good now for Serravalle, but it's not won and lost yet. But Serravalle looking strong through the hairpin. He's going to win this one. Looks over his shoulder. Beat you. Antonio Serravalle wins the final for Micromax. In 2nd place, Justin Sirgany. In 3rd place, Dylan Tavella. Oh, and we've got a couple of drivers about to finish, but they're being told to move away, and it's a dangerous situation. Oh, that is big disappointment for a couple of our drivers. Giovanni Bramonte, I think, was one of them. Yes, he was. So Giovanni Bramonte, who was in for a top 5 finish, in fact, is going to come home round about 20th. But on the happier note, Antonio Serravalle taking an opportunistic chance to pass to go from 3rd to 1st on the last lap, wins it from Justin Sirgany and Dylan Tavella.